Hi guys, Yulia here. So today's video will be about a number of things. I'm just gonna do a little update on what's going on outside today, and then I'm going to show you how to force branches to bloom indoors in the winter. So just a little update about the winter storm that is going on outside. We actually, in New Jersey, they declared a state of emergency, which means I guess you can't drive, or like all the schools are closed, and it is coming down pretty hard. But I am incredibly happy that I actually went ahead and forced some branches about a couple of weeks ago, and I will tell you how to do it next. So basically, I want to show you what's going on outside first.
So check it out. This is the storm here. It is very, very beautiful out here. But the snow is so heavy. These birch trees, they never go down to the ground like this. It is crazy. The dog is happy. Stay here, bud. So this is the border that is soon to be blooming, I hope. Totally covered in snow. The Forsythia hedge I've been trying to prune for days now is all the way on the sidewalk. My neighbors are not going to be happy. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Oh, look at the robin. Oh, oh, they're having the Nellie Stephen berries. Look at this. This is so pretty. Right over here. So cool. Love how quiet it is too. I am really worried about that pine over there. The snow load might be a little too heavy for it. Let's just go inside. Alright, let's see what's going on over here. Okay, so Euonymus is on the ground. See what's going on over here. Oh, my poor pond. Whoa. Okay, so the neighbor's elm, that's a Chinese elm. It's a huge tree. It looks so gorgeous right now. Oh my goodness. Whoa. This is the vegetable garden. The hemlocks. I might just have to shake the snow off the hemlocks here. There we go. Much better. Anyway, just wanted to show you what's going on outside today. Spring is not quite here yet.
So now that you saw what's going on outside, I'd like to talk about how to force spring blooming branches to bloom earlier than they would normally bloom if they were outside. It's a very simple method, but there are a couple of tips and tricks to remember while you're doing this. So basically first you have to pick your plants. Now there are earlier spring blooming shrubs and trees that you can cut, branches of which you can cut probably the first week of February. You should not be cutting any outdoor shrubs or trees before that, because they need a certain number of weeks of dormancy, which means they need to be in the cold environment for a certain period of time to set their buds. So basically, for the earlier spring blooming shrubs and trees, let's say cherries, witchhazel, flowering quince, forsythia, the first week of February is a good week to start. For the later blooming trees and shrubs, let's say the flowering cherry, the one with the bigger blooms, or redbuds, or crabapples, or apples, or even magnolias, you can cut them first week of March. They need a little bit longer period of dormancy, and their flowers are kind of bigger, so they need a little bit more time to set. So now that after you pick your shrub or tree that you want to force, you basically have to cut it correctly, cut the branch correctly, put it in the right kind of water, and I will be talking about that next. So now I wanted to talk about the proper cutting technique, what kind of water, the temperature, and all of that stuff. So this is a Forsythia branch that I cut today in the snow. And basically you want the cut as big as possible. So you can either cut it like this. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Okay. Or you can also cut it like this along the stem in the middle to expose as much of the branch in the water. So it kind of pulls as much water as possible into the branch. You want to cut your branches during the warmest period of the day. So like midday is good. And when you gather them, go ahead and put them in the water. You can use, some people use like a drop of bleach to make sure there's no bacteria in the water. I would normally just change water every couple of days. I prefer not to use any chemicals. So the next step is to put your branches into an environment that is not too hot. Put it somewhere where it's not too heated, so they're kind of have a period of adjustment into blooming, because just going from 32 degrees into 72 degrees into your home is kind of a little shocking. So let's say find a spot where it's like 60-degree temperature for a couple of days, and then when you start seeing the buds plump up a little bit, just move it into the warmer environment. And actually even before that, the way you pick your branches, just look for the ones with the plumpest buds. And actually it's the easy way to tell which ones have more blooms on them. The bloom buds are more round and the leaf buds are more pointy. So just like remember, keep that in mind when you're cutting your branches. So, and then, a couple of buds usually break open and then it just blooms. It's just fantastic. So I will show you what kind of shrubs I force this winter next. So I normally force Forsythia only, but this year I decided to go a little bit out of my comfort zone and try some other trees and shrubs, some with success, some with somewhat failure. So anyway, this Forsythia right here, I forced think it was about a month ago. So I cut this about a month ago, first week of February, like I told you, and it's started blooming 2 weeks ago. So I've had these blooms for 2 weeks, and it was wonderful. It's so gray outside and so dark, and just to have this bright yellow color, it's awesome. It's kind of wilting right now. It's on its way out. This Forsythia right here, I cut about 2 weeks ago, and it kind of started blooming a little bit earlier. I think it was a different cultivar. It had bigger blooms too. So this one, and I love using like different vases for it. It's just a lot of fun. Another shrub that I tried, tree that I tried, was a flowering cherry. And this is flowering cherry right here. I don't know if you could see it. And it's adorable, but I cut it too soon. And I realized that it does indeed need a little bit more dormancy than the Forsythia. So it hasn't had as much blooms as the Forsythia. So I'd say I cut it in the beginning of February as well, and it started drying out more than, you know, kind of blooming. Oh, another thing, like actually a good tip, is to mist your blooms once a day. They really appreciate the high humidity. Now, another shrub slash tree, this is it looks like a shrub in my garden, is witchhazel. Love witchhazel. This is amethyst, and it has beautiful kind of like burgundy, light burgundy flowers, and they're also really fragrant. Now, witchhazel, it's one of the exceptions. You can force it in January because it does have a shorter dormant period. So you can force this one as early as January. I forced it in February, and it looks just absolutely stunning. So I actually am enjoying display of all the spring blooming flowers like in the winter storm, which I think is awesome. Now, another thing that I tried is Magnolia. So I'm just gonna kind of pinch this little bit. And this is a star magnolia. Star magnolia is an earlier blooming magnolia. There's a saucer magnolia. There's a giant flowers. That one, I don't know, I probably wouldn't be successful forcing because the flowers are so large. They probably need a lot of moisture and a little bit more nutrients. Now this one I really want to try because it does have little smaller flowers. I think it needs a little bit more time to develop, but I am excited to see this one bloom. I did cut this one a couple of days ago. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what I have blooming right now, and I wish you luck with forcing your spring shrubs and trees, and spring is coming soon. I am super excited. If you have any questions, post them in the comment section below, and I hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.